better. I hope. Yeah, this stuff is so funny sometimes. You have to plug stuff up, unplug it, plug it back in, and then it's working. So I went ahead and this is take two, by the way, if you're just joining. And I went ahead and went on my video camera part of my phone and did a test video. And sure enough, there was no electric guitar sound whatsoever. So hopefully this works. I hope. I know one way to find out. Let's see. There's going to be some echo here, probably. I'm watching myself listening. Oh, no. All right, let's see. There we go. And now we got it. Oh my gosh, man. The joys of technology, right? Okay, man. We're back. Welcome to Wolfgang Wednesday. I know that's Johnny's tagline. I hope he doesn't matter that I'm using it just for today. Hope you don't mind, Johnny. Plus, I'm sporting the new Johnny Bean shirt, man. Check it out. JohnnyBean.tv. Came in the mail a few days ago. And yeah, we'll wait a few minutes for the chat to start pulling up. People start pulling back, jumping back in, pulling back in. Video is a little bright, like probably from that light right there. I'm guessing. I'm looking at myself on the playback, and yeah, I got an extra light up here to help with the lighting in the room. Because if I cut that light off, man, it's gonna be really dim. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, Craig. Thank you for the feedback, man. I appreciate it. Mark Taylor. Yeah, man. So I was getting nervous there. I was like, I just bought this new cable, man, and it's not working. You got to be kidding me. So it's just the way everything acts sometimes. It picks up the connection, like it recognizes it's plugged in, and sometimes it doesn't. So we're good. We're good. R2, R3, man. He says, hey, brother, a quick hello. He's at work. Yes, R2, man. How are you? I've been talking to you a lot lately, man. Thank you for being here and saying hello. Bozique, awesome, Joe. You're making me want to go home and play my EVH Wolf. What's up, Bozique? Yes. Randall Fisher, we have sound. Yeah. We have sound. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, R2, man, I'm telling you. I hope he posts some more stuff on his channel. I think he's just got one video right now of him unboxing his new Fender Strat, that beautiful Fender Strat. And I hope he puts some more videos of him playing. And because, man, golly, it was awesome. You know what I'm saying? It was terrific. So it was awesome. Awesome deal. Fantastic. Yeah, baby. We all good now. All right, man. Let's see if we can play a song. Let's see if we can do a song, man. And hopefully it'll work. So thank you for the thumbs ups too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know we're backwards, and YouTube has still not fixed that issue, right? Sad to say. All right. Hold tight, man. Let's try something. We've got through step 1. Let's see if we can do step 2, right? Here we go. Hey, Dry Heat. How are you? Little ZZ Top to warm things up today, right? Woo, on this beautiful Wednesday here in the Southpaw Studios at HV3 and JohnnyBean.tv. Wow. Yeah, man. Hey, Miss Janice. Oh, you do ZZ Top? You do that song, singing and playing? Wow, that's amazing. I wish I could sing and play. I'm doing good to do this. I was not born a singer, not at all. Let's see, Bozique, what amp are you playing through, Joe? It sounds really good. We're going through right there, sir. The Roland Microcube right there, and I got the little mini me in front of it that my friend Tony Carter made. I know everything's backwards, but right there, Roland Microcube. Look those up, man. I'm going from that into my Zoom R8 multi-track. I'm using as a mixer right now, and then going in, to the phone. So in front of the Microcube, I got my pedals, right, going into that, and then out into the Zoom R8 into the phone. So that way I can use the Zoom R8 to adjust the levels for the vocals and guitar and try to even everything out. But I love going through that amp. It's got some great settings on it for what it is. I can't remember what I paid for that. What was that? Like $100. I think it was under $200. I think. I can't remember now. But it's worth it, man. I mean, it comes with a an adapter, and you can put batteries in it. I've seen buskers on the street on YouTube. There's this one guy. I think he's in Los Angeles. Might be in Los Angeles. He's like a Jimi Hendrix impersonator, and he plays left-handed and everything. And that's where I first got the idea. Not really the idea, but I was like, man, that amp sounds amazing. He was busking on the street, and I looked at his amp. I said, man, those amps are small. What is that? And he had two of them, one for his guitar and one for his mic. And he had like that. And what got me was the slap back delay, the real quick. Here, listen. Hear that? He had that. You can adjust this for a vocal mic, right? And put your microphone through it, and it can be really clean. It sounds really good, and you can have a little bit of delay on it. Well, he had that kind of slap back delay on his vocals. And the guitar had the same. He had them both timed the same, so they would match, two separate amps, right? And he was amazing. He sounded just like Jimmy, the way he sang, and he played just like him. It was amazing. And I was like, I gotta get one of those amps, because I was really impressed about how it sounded. I was really impressed. I was like, man, that sounds incredible. I got to look at this chat. This chat is on fire, man. Thank y'all for coming back. We had technical difficulties the first time around. What else is new here, right? This is the technical difficulty capital of YouTube. I think that's what this is. R2, thank you, man. He says, Joe's on fire. I've covered that song. I need to do that again. Mitch Heyman, now that sounds good. I'm back. Thank you, Mr. Heyman. Yeah, I apologize, man, for the technical difficulties, man. Miss Janice says, I can play without singing, but can't sing without playing. Wow. That's the tongue twister. Oh, you use the Microcube as well. Oh, that's awesome. They're really great little amps, man. I love it. I play through that. I'm not kidding you. Probably 85% of the time. It's so convenient to set it up for live streaming for what I do when everything works. It's I just love that sound, and I think the sound is called classic rock. I believe that's the title of that tone, classic rock. Yeah, and that's me, man. Is that considered classic rock? I think that's more like 80s pop. Let Miss Sonya, you playing to the small amp? Yes, I am. Yes. Jason Wade, yes, 2 live streams while at work. Yeah, man, awesome. Who else was live? Oh, Ben. Ben was live? Okay. Well, hell, man, I hope I didn't go into his territory there. I didn't know. I'm sorry, man. Damn. $129, Miss Janice says. Thank you for the price check. Thank you, yeah. Miss Janice says, I have the old one and use 2 cubes, one for the guitar, another for the microphone. There you go. That's what I saw, that busker, that Jimi Hendrix busker. If anybody's wondering what a busker is, that's somebody that plays on the street and tries to earn money. That's a busker. When I first heard it, I didn't know what the hell is that? That's what a busker is. Sully Dude. I even got the bass version. They're badass. Oh, I didn't even know they had a bass version of the Microcube. I didn't even know that. That's awesome, Sully Dude. Thank you for chiming in with that, man. Mitch Heyman. And you're doing this on an iPhone? I'm doing it on a smartphone, but it's an Android device, sir. It's not an iPhone. Now all we have to do is fix the backwards viewing. That's right, Mr. Heyman. That's what I've been waiting for YouTube to do. I do have some more updates that are supposed to be done on my phone, but that came through a couple of days ago. But I've had 4 or 5 YouTube updates in the past month and a half, and it's still backwards. That's the one thing that I'm hoping they would fix. But you can do this on an iPhone as well, Mr. Heyman. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm behind on the comments, folks. I'm trying to catch up here. Oh, it just jumped. Wow. Let's see. I'm looking at the chat. Hang on. Everything just jumped, man. It just went crazy. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, Miss Janice, you do the same thing. Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't, I'm way out of the loop on that stuff because I don't. This is the only time I get to play music is before I go to work, and then a little bit on the weekend. That's it. All the other times I'm on the road, right, trying to make a living. But it's really cool. You see people do that. All right. Hey, Charlie S., how are you, man? Mitch Heyman says he might have to get a microcube. I think it's a wise investment. It's a really cool thing to have to, you want to practice or, I mean, if you've not seen my, what I call live, I think I called a live outdoor test. It was before YouTube made the image backwards. Everything was still normal. I did a live test outside. I took my PA speakers outside in front of the house and, excuse me, had the PA speakers sitting long ways in a couple of chairs because I didn't have both my PA speaker stands. So I just set them long ways, and I took my PA, the head out there, and what I ran through was the microcube. I hooked the microcube up to the PA head and went through the PA, man, and it sounded incredible. And that was an outdoor test, right? And so I just wanted to try that out to see what, and man, I was like, so you could take that to a gig, man, and hook it up to your PA if you just, I mean, people might laugh or whatever, but who cares? You show up with that little thing and your little pedal board, and you're good to go. I mean, I went to gigs with half stacks, PVs, and combo amps and all that, and I was like, man, can you imagine hooking that up to the PA? You wouldn't have to load up nothing, man. Just you'd be set to go. I don't know how I'd go with the rest of the guys in the band. They probably wouldn't like it, but I don't know. Jimmy T. Sounds good, Joe. Are you using line out on the amp or just using your phone's mic? There is an I think it's an auxiliary out on the back of the amp. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. I got a aux cord coming from the back of the amp into a pedal on the floor that I don't use. I just use it for like a junction box, go into that pedal out into the mixer, but yeah, there's like a auxiliary cord out or record out or something. I can't remember what it says on the back, but that's what it's for, what we're doing here. Yeah. And I just rigged it up and I was like, I wonder if this will work. And it worked, thank God. So yeah, it's awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Boutique, the backwards EVH sign looks cool though. Everything is backwards, man. I know it's horrible, man. It's horrible. But there's nothing I can do about it. That's what sucks. That's out of my control. R2, R3, everyone, peace out. And Joe, have a great day. Thank you, R2, man. We'll talk to you later on. Have a great day, man. Mitch Heyman, I'm going to research this. I have an Android too. I'll be more than glad to tell you how I do my setup, man. It's not a secret. I'm not one of those guys, man. I'm not one of the try to, don't let nobody know. I'm not like that, man. I mean, shoot, man, if you can pay it forward and help somebody, that's what I like to do, man. I mean, good Lord, man. You know how long I've been working on this setup? And I still, as you see, I still have difficulties, but you know how long I've been working on this so I could go live and have decent audio? A long time. Just a lot of trial and error too, and I've learned some stuff from other people too. I have to be honest, it's not like I came up, now I have to use both components because of my phone. I have a Samsung Galaxy 8 Plus, and the charger port they changed the charger port on this phone. This phone came out last year, something like that, last year or a year and a half ago. And Samsung smartphones have always had the same charger port for years because I've always had Samsung, same old song, Samsung devices, and I've kept the same car charger for years. But now they changed the charger port, so when you get the Go mixer It has a USB cord that comes with it that when you plug it to the Go Mixer and plug it to your phone, number one, it powers the Go Mixer, and number two, it also provides the sound. But I can't do that with this phone. I did a video about it on my channel here. So what I had to do, since the auxiliary, my goodness, the USB cord wouldn't fit and it wouldn't work, I had the iRig 2. So I came out of the headphones jack. Is it the headphone? I'm sorry, the monitor out. I came out of the monitor out is the auxiliary, the aux cord that I just bought from, Amazon, because people were saying that my volume was going up and down. There was a short in the cord. I think Ben Coombs was the first to tell me about it. And so I got a new cord that comes out of that into the iRig 2, and then the iRig 2 goes into the headphone jack of the phone. That's my setup right there. That's how it is, and your Go Mixer, you got to have, it's got 4 knobs on the Go Mixer. If you're not familiar with the Roland Go Mixer, research that too, Mr. Heyman. You got a master volume in the middle. I got that all the way up. And then the knob for the guitar, it's like 3/4 of the way up, because you don't want to have everything maxed out. And there is a peak light on here. If that peak light goes red, it's meaning you're too loud. But with the way I've done this so many times, even though the peak light does go off, see, right now it doesn't. But when I'm playing a backing track, yeah, I'll see it go off a little bit. But when I watch the playback, it's all good. That's why I like the YouTube app for live streaming, because it can handle a little bit of volume, and it's usually really clear as long as all my stuff's working on my end. But that's what I got, man. That's what it is. It takes a little time to get it together and do a bunch of test runs. That's what I've told everybody. I've told quite a few people how to do this, but I guess they don't want to go through the trouble, because it can be aggravating. It really can. It can drive you nuts. But once you tinker with it for a little bit and you understand it, it works really well for a small setup. It works really well. There's a bunch of other YouTubers out there that have this real fancy setup, and it sounds terrific. Sounds great. But man, I'm a musician that's on a very low budget. So that's what I have to do. I have to find a way to sound like that guy or close to it, but without spending thousands of dollars in computer programs and software and all that. I can't do all that, man. My setup is very simple: smartphone, a laptop, and a microcube, a Roland Go Mixer, and the iRig 2. Now, if you have an iPhone or, a Samsung device where they didn't change a charger port, you don't need the iRig 2. You can just run straight out of the Go Mixer and boom, But it's just the way I had to do it, Okay, let's see. Wow. Okay, Mr. Heyman, you have an Android too. Okay, yeah, I've always been an Android person. Nothing against iPhones or nothing like that. It's just not my cup of tea. I like an Android. I like the operating system. To me, it's better. Mitch Heyman, I have the Katana 100 with the 12-inch speaker. Oh, the combo. Okay, I think my Yamaha sounds better than the Katana. Really? Wow. Hey, man. Everybody's got their own opinion, and see, I don't know what that Yamaha sounds like. I have no clue, but you do. You know what it sounds like, and you know what you like. But the good thing is you have a variety. You got 2 different things you can choose, because we're always looking for something different, a different tone. We're always looking, always chasing something. Let's see. Mitch Heyman, some of my videos sound good. I have a Mackie Pro V8 mixer, a couple of other audio interfaces. I do all my live streams on my computers. Yeah, and like I said, if you have the right equipment and the right setup, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, And a lot of that for me, I just don't have the time to research that. And I don't have the money to put into that. So I go this route. And for me, it works. Hey, Adam EVH, man, how are you, man? Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you for being here on this Wednesday. It is what, July 25th, 2018. It is 2:05 p.m. in the afternoon. It's a hot, hot, hot afternoon, right? Jimmy T, I agree with Mitch in a valve amp. I'm sorry, I'm a valve amp guy, but this setup sounds great. You talking about this here, Jimmy T, or are you talking about his Yamaha? I must have missed something. I'm sorry. Johnny Bean, hey man. Yes, that's right. See, man, I believe in supporting the other channels, man. See what I'm saying? In one shape, form, or fashion, I try to support the other channels. I might not get a T-shirt from every channel, but I try to support and thumbs up, some comments, and something, you know. Yes, Wolfgang Wednesday, Johnny. I stole your tagline for today, and I said that. I think I said that in the first go around, the first video. I didn't have no sound on the guitar, and the people in the chat were kind enough to tell me, "Hey, man, you don't have no audio on your guitar," so I had to shut down and restart. But I did say Wolfgang Wednesday is Johnny Bean's tagline, so I did not make that up. That goes to Johnny. So I did give you credit there, Johnny. Mitch Heyman says, I'm still learning the Tone Studio software on the Katana. Oh, man. Oh, God. That was a nightmare for me. And, man, I did a video about that on here, too, man, about, I shouldn't have acted so. I was kind of a jerk to the guy, but I was so aggravated for trying to get it to work. And because I'm not real computer tech savvy, and I'm a very impatient person when it comes to because I don't never have enough time for recreational stuff. I'm always having to go to work and drive, and my time is very limited. I like that saying plug and play. I love that. You just plug the stuff up and you're ready to go. That's me right there. I don't want to have to sit around and mess with stuff for 20, 30 minutes, or really a couple hours. But anyway, I finally got the I had to call. Well, they hooked me up with, I guess it was Boss Support, and he walked me through everything. I got the software hooked up on the computer and all that, and so I got it now. I understand what to do now, but it's just, I was looking on the internet on how to do it and everything, and I couldn't get anywhere, man. There's like step 1, do this, step 2, and I did everything, but I wouldn't get no results. I was like, there's something missing somewhere. Something's wrong. And sure enough, when I got on that online support on the telephone, the guy I said, oh, okay, there we go. That's what's not, in the other stuff. So Johnny Bean, yeah, he's in the house, man. Johnny Bean. Oh, you have the Behringer mixer? Oh, wow. Jimmy T and the Marvelous Lady. Yeah, Joe, you're set up. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, man. I love your icon, your avatar of the gym. That is awesome. Thank you, sir, very much, man. Yeah, when it works, when everything is connected and it works, I'm happy with it, but I'll tell you, and I'm being honest, man. The first person I came across that had the best audio I've ever heard in my life doing stuff like this was Johnny Bean. When he came, I said, my God, number one, he's got fantastic audio. Number two, he has the perfect voice for, if, he could get a job in Sirius XM, radio. I think he's got that perfect voice for that. So when you got it, you got it, and he's got it. So, Johnny, you talking about why I didn't have any sound? I got a new aux cord coming out of the Go mixer here, and I had it plugged up, but sometimes you have to unplug it and plug it back in, and then it recognizes it, so I was scared, man. I had audio vocal audio, but I didn't have no guitar audio. So I had to reconnect, and then I shut the old video down and deleted it and did a test run real quick, and then came back. So here we are. Yeah, thank you, Jimmy T. Adam EVH, I'm wearing my Joe Wentz t-shirt. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for wearing the shirt, man. Thank you very much for your support, man. People out there are probably thinking, who the hell is that? It's a goofy white guy with glasses, man. Who, Johnny Bean? No, his name's Joe Wentz. I'm kidding, Johnny. I'm just ragging on you, man. You know I love you, man. I'm just playing. Let's see. Mitch Heyman at Jimmy T. It's amazing how good Joe's setup is with the smartphone. It's a technology, man. You know, I just like I said, a lot of it was trial and error and doing stuff. You know, I mean, when I first was messing around, I didn't know what to do. You know, and I got information from a guy about the iRig 2, and I started with that, and then the Roll and Go mixer came out. It just came up in my feed, I guess, about a year ago. And those things have been out for a while. I didn't know they'd been out that long because I'm, like I say, I don't research gear that much. I just, when I get a heads up from like Jim Guidry or Adam EVH about a piece of gear, I'll research it, because that's the thing when you got buddies like that and they get a piece of gear and they're like, man, you got to check this out, man. It's awesome for what we're doing. And I'm like, really? And I'll look at it and then I'll buy it, But the Go mixer was something I came across on my own, and it popped up on my YouTube feed, I should say. And I researched it and looked at the videos, and I was like, wow, it showed like a before and after, with the Go mixer, without the Go mixer, and all that stuff, man. It was fantastic. So it's been a lot of trial and error, but I think we're pretty much there where I need to be. Like I said, and I got this new aux cord, thank God. And so we're good, man. We're having a good time. That's all that matters. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for everybody who puts the nice comments, man. I'm slow about responding because my time is so limited with my job, and I try my best to respond when I can. Thank you so much for leaving the kind words, man. Yeah, we got some trolls out there. We got one in particular who's probably got a whole bunch of different accounts, and he likes trolling trolling everybody. So what can you do, man? It's like, come on, man, really? It's like, we know who you are, man. Come on, give us a break, will you? I'm retired. Really? There you are. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Don't be like that. Yeah, no sound earlier, Johnny says. Yeah, that was because of the connection was all just like right there, right? Hopefully it's not out of sync now. Look at that blurry picture. And it's trying to come back. Wow. You're welcome, Johnny. Absolutely, man. I just call it like I see it, man. Johnny has always been straight up with me, man. And he's always been supportive. And he's never had a bad thing to say. And he's always helped me out when I needed it. So I try my best to pay that back. And I try my best to pay it forward with other people, I believe that's what you should do. Bozique. Hey, Johnny, I walked away for a couple minutes and here he is. Yeah, Bozique. Boom. He pops in. He's like magic. Billy Ernest. Hey, man, how are you? I think, Billy, you're right up the road in North Carolina, man. Aren't you in Asheville? I believe. Billy's always had nice things to say, man. Thank you, Billy. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, if you're in Asheville, you're like 45 minutes from me, I believe. And I think Billy and I have talked a few minutes on Facebook. It's been a long time because I'm really bad about social media, man. I mean, I got that one page, the Joe Wentz Project, and I haven't posted nothing on that in, God, forever. I mean, everybody's pretty much left that page, which is fine. so whatever. Uh, Johnny, did somebody want to charge you $7 an hour to tell you how to plug in a cable? No. Nah, I didn't get charged for nothing. No, no, I would not do that anyway. Bozique. If you want to be a troll, do it the right way and move under a bridge. Yeah. It's what can you do, man? I just laugh it off, man. Good Lord. Billy Ernest. Yes, Asheville. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh man, Mark Taylor is going to the Def Leppard and Journey show tonight. Wow. Now, what state is that, Mr. Taylor, if you don't mind me asking? What state are you in? That's going to be a killer show, man. Damn, that's going to be awesome, man. I've never seen neither one of those groups. Never seen neither one of them. And Arnell is nailing it, man. I mean, they knocked it out of the park when Neil Sean found him. Kansas City, that's right. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. I forgot. I forgot, man. It's been a long time. I can't keep up with everybody. But yeah, that's awesome. Awesome deal. Man, that'd be an awesome show. I don't know if they're coming here. They're probably not coming here. Probably not. I wouldn't surprise me. Used to get some pretty good acts through here, and then it's kind of slowed down. I guess the marketing or the market isn't that good here. I guess. I don't know. And plus, man, the ticket prices are outrageous, man, for shows. Golly, they're freaking outrageous. Who was it my wife looked up? Oh, man. It's coming here, and she looked up the tickets, and they were like, I don't know, 150 or 125 a piece. And I was like, okay, I just watch them on YouTube for free, and I'm not paying that to go somewhere and stand in line and fight all those people. And I never will forget when I went to, I think Adam and I talked about this on the podcast. If you haven't heard that, go back a couple of videos and check it out. The Joe Wentz Project Live broadcast with Adam EVH and Jim Gidger. We were talking about Tesla came up in the conversation. And I said, yeah, the first time I saw Tesla, they opened up for Poison in the late 80s, and Adam seen that same tour. But I never will forget, man, one of the things I remember going to that show, and there was a girl in front of us. We had really good seats. She was in front of us. And, everybody has their flask and they're drinking. That's just part of the whole experience, right? Well, man, she drank way too much, and you know what happened after that. And I was like, oh, God, really? And so it was that kind of ruined ruined the last part of that, Anyway, you win some, you lose some, and some get rained out. Ain't that correct? Bozique says he would love to see Def Leppard once before they retire. Then again, rock stars keep playing till they're 90 these days. What else are they going to do? Yeah, I've thought about that too. Adam, have a great day, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, sir. $100 to $800 for Alice Cooper tickets. Oh my God. What happened after that, Jimmy T? What happened? I just grinned and bared it, man. I mean, it was just, I was like, oh man. So it just, nobody came to clean nothing up or nothing like that. I was just like, golly, that girl, she just I think she sat down for a while, and I was like, my God. And the girl I was dating at the time, I looked at her and she was like holding her nose. I was like, well, what can we do, man? We paid this money to see the show, and because they had canceled and they rescheduled because I remember that because Bret Michaels had bronchitis. I remember that, yeah. And they rescheduled, and they told us to bring your same tickets from like 6 months before or something, a few months before. Charlie S. Hey Joe, went to Journey Def Leppard last month in Jersey. It was a great concert. They are flip flopping, opening and closing. Both bands sounded great. Yeah, yeah. That's see, that's the way to do it, man. That is the way to do it. Flip flop back and forth on who opens and who closes. That's the right way. That way, it's fair for everybody. Do y'all remember the Sam and Dave tour when that happened in what was that 2001 when that was going on? And Sammy told Dave we can flip flop, every show. And Dave raised hell about it. He didn't want to open. He wanted to close every show. And man, they got in all kind of arguments over that tour. It was horrible. Jimmy T says, okay. Yeah, it wasn't a pleasant thing, but some people, man. I remember there was another guy over here. He had a flask and he turned it up and I guess he turned around because you know how the seats are kind of stacked like this, right? So he was down below. He turned around and he looked at me and he went, yeah. I was like, okay, dude. Yeah. Go ahead and get, shit faced. I don't care. I want to enjoy the show. I want to remember what happened. I'll never forget that, man. That guy, that look on his face, he must have been feeling really good. But he had a good time. He wasn't hurting nobody. I just thought it was funny, Let's see. Oh yeah, Bo Zeke, Alice Cooper's guitarist. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Really familiar with her, Nita Strauss. Yeah, she is amazing. God Almighty, she is an amazing guitar player. Have y'all seen that movie? It's like a documentary. Hired Guns. Is that what it's called? Hired Guns. She's in that. She's in that for a little bit. Yeah, that is a great documentary. If you haven't seen that, man, I don't know if it's on. It might be on Netflix. I bought it when it came out. Shoot, man, I don't know what 4 or 5 months ago. The Hired Guns. That is a fantastic documentary. Check that out, man. Yeah, she's a really pretty woman. I thought she was older than what she is, man. Because if you watch sometimes on her Instagram, she'll post and she's got pictures without all her makeup, and I was like, my God, she looks like she's 18 years old, But she's I think she's 26 or 27 now. Yeah, she's young, but she's an amazing guitar player. My God, and Alice Cooper did it right, man. I mean, can you blame the guy? I mean, Alice Cooper's in his late 60s, and he's got a hot guitar player on stage with him. That's the perfect eye candy, man. I mean, hell yeah, that's great marketing. Not that she's used for marketing, but it still works both ways. Everybody wins, right? It's a win-win. And plus, she's just flat out amazing. No, that's not his daughter. No. Yeah, Bozique. No, she's a hired gun musician. Well, as far as I know, she might be a hired gun. I don't know if she's a permanent member of his band or what, but yeah, Bozique, great documentary. It is a great documentary. It is really good, and it's really sad when you watch that. It's man. When those musicians that they featured on there, when they get a good gig, they make really good money. But when they're not on tour, when they're not doing nothing, they're not making squat, man. They're not making anything, So they're always chasing another gig, to keep the money coming in. But really, what surprised me in that documentary was there's a guy on there. I cannot remember his name. Oh man, it just slipped my mind. He was the drummer for Billy Joel. And wow, Billy Joel, really, man, I don't know none of these people personally. I'm just going by what I saw in the documentary, but it was sad, man. Billy Joel, he done his whole band wrong over time. He kind of just got rid of the members so he could get new members and pay them, I guess, a lot less money. So all that stuff that they had in the beginning that about yeah, we're all brothers, man. Nothing will ever come in between us, and blah blah blah. All that went out the door. That drummer was the last I think the last original member that was there, and then Billy Joel finally just got rid of him. One of the members that got let go, I think he was a guitar player, man. He was so depressed after being cut loose, I think he committed suicide. And I was like, my God. So, I just, nothing against Billy Joel personally. Like I said, I don't know these people, but after hearing the drummer's story on that documentary, I was like, man, that is really sad, man, that he just did away with his, I don't know, what all happened. There's two sides to every story, but the story I heard from the drummer, it was rough, man. I was like, man, he got done wrong, man. That was wrong. I hope he's got his name on some songwriting credits on the albums or something. Probably not, but I hope he does. I hope he's getting some kind of residuals, because if not, what's he doing? Bozique says, I think Nita Strauss became a permanent member after the previous guitar player left to go join Five Finger Death Punch. Okay, yeah, that's in that documentary too. Yeah, that guy, he formed that band. So he was the guitar player first, right? Okay. Yeah, that guy was amazing. I'm not familiar with Five Finger Death Punch. That music's it's too heavy for me. I don't get into that kind of music, but that guy was really nice, man, and God almighty, he could play, man. I was like, good God. You watch these guys and they're just doing their thing. And I'm like, oh man, I'll never get to that level. It's just, you get to a certain level with your playing. For me, I get to a certain level and I'm like, that's pretty much about it, man. I can't do no sweet picking. I can't do no Ingve stuff. I can't, there's just so much of that stuff I just can't do. I know I have my own little bag of tricks that I stick with, and I try to embellish on that. And that's it. Nothing fancy. Really simple. Blue scales and box patterns. Here's simple stuff that all these other big time YouTubers say not to do all the time. Go outside of the box. Well, I try to every once in a while, but my goodness, I'm doing good to remember what I did 2 days ago. Here's 20 new licks. Learn these. Nah, man. Come on, man. I'm doing good to know the 5 licks I know now. It's crazy. What is this computer doing, man? Go away. Norton keeps popping up wanting to do a scan. Why do you want to do that now? Excuse me. I don't want to blow your ears up and cough in your ear. You seen people do that on some live streams? They go, oh, I'm like, God almighty, dude. Can you mute your microphone? Man. Oh, Lordy. Let's see. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Liberty DeVito. That's the drummer. Thank you, Bozique. Okay, that was Billy Joel's drummer. Okay. Liberty. Man, I can't even speak. Liberty DeVito. I wonder if he's related to Danny DeVito. Billy Joel screwed him financially. Man, that is sad. That is so sad, man. Well, thank you, Mr. Heyman. Thanks, man. I appreciate your kind words. Power chords, yeah. I won't ever forget when I first learned that, man. I was a teenager, and somebody showed me what a power chord was, and I said, "What is that?" At first, I thought it was like a piece of electrical equipment. I was like, "What do you do with that?" They's like, "No, man, it's an easy way to do a chord instead of doing the whole actual chord." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I won't ever forget it, man. I'll share this story with you real quick if y'all got a couple of minutes. Me and a buddy of mine grew up in the same neighborhood in Charlotte, North Carolina. My shoulder wants to pop. Damn. And there was rumor going around there was a guy in the neighborhood, in the back end of the neighborhood, that could play guitar. And I don't mean this to be rude, because I look like a fucking geek myself with these fucking Coke bottle glasses and shit, and I've had contacts and I had trouble with them, so I can't wear contacts anymore. So y'all have to put up with this, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I apologize. But he was kind of a geek dude, I mean, he was one of those guys that wore the black rock and roll T-shirts in school, and the Ozzy shirts and whatever, and he just was kind of, he wasn't rude or an asshole or nothing. He was just kind of, you could tell he just didn't have a lot going for him. You know what I mean? You never saw him have a girlfriend or nothing like that, and he kind of stuck to himself. But the word that went around was he could play guitar, and me and my buddy said, I was like, man, he can't play no guitar, man. There's no way. Don't judge a book by its cover, right? Guilty. Those without sin cast the first stone, right? And so we rode our bikes to the back part of the neighborhood, went to his house, knocked on the door. His mom came to the door. Yes, can I help you? I said, well, he's like, yes, ma'am. Is so-and-so here? I don't want to say his name. She said, yeah, just a minute. She went and got him, brought him to the door, and was like, hey, man. He probably thought, what are these guys doing here? They don't ever speak to me in school, but they're here at my house. And he's like, hey, man, what's happening, man? We just want to ask you a question. We heard that you know how to play guitar. Excuse me. He's like, yeah, man, come on in. And we went back to his room, and he had all these posters. You got to remember, this is in like 86, so he had all these Ozzy posters and all that cool crap you had when you're a teenager, and you got your walls covered with stuff, out of guitar magazines and all that. So that's the first thing I noticed. And I walked in there, I said, oh, damn, that's fucking cool, because my mom always had my room decorated with like these little crafts and stuff. And I was like, this is girly, man. I don't want this in here. I got to put up some posters, man. And she was real strict about not putting posters up because they had just put like new wallpaper up, and she didn't want no holes in it and all that and stuff, But after a little bit, she let me do what I wanted. Wasn't no big deal. But anyway, back to the story. So he's like, yeah, we looked at his room and all that stuff. And he had I want to say he had a Peavey guitar. Was it that or a Kramer? I want to say it might have been a Kramer. But I remember he had a Peavey amp. And he had a jam box, or some people will say ghetto blaster or whatever. I always called it a jam box. He had that sitting on top of the amp. He had a cassette deck, right? And he had an Ozzy tape in there, cassette album. I can't remember what the song was. He pressed play, and he started doing power chords. And that's when I first saw somebody do a power chord. I know that was a long story, and I asked him, I said, what is that? He said, it's called a power chord, And he just kept moving all around the neck doing these power chords, and but what he was doing, he wasn't doing nothing like, he was just, just like real nice and smooth, and from what I can remember, right? Excuse me. And me and my friend, we were blown away just at that right there. I was like, God almighty. I was like, wow, man. And so we watched him play for probably another 10 minutes, and we left. We were riding our bikes back to our houses, and we were looking at each other. I was like, man, I didn't know he could play like that. So to me back then, that was just flat out amazing. So that's how I learned the power chord, watching somebody do that, And I've learned a lot of stuff just by watching people growing up. Now, of course, you got YouTube. You can watch, all kind of stuff, free lessons and everything. Thank you. Let's see. Bozique, thanks, man. You're too kind. Thank you. Charlie S. Oh, yeah. Check out Nita Strauss when she was in the Iron Maidens cover band. All very good players. Oh, man. And that other guitar player, I can't remember her name. She is fine too, man. Did you see the video of Nita Strauss and that other guitar player like at NAMM? And they're both playing Ibanez's, and God almighty, man. To me, there's nothing more hotter than a sexy chick playing a guitar and she can play. I was like, oh my God, that is too cool, man. That is too cool. Thank you, Jimmy T, man. Thank you. You're very nice, sir. Thank you so much. Oh man, it's just everybody has that certain level. Hang on, fighting my throat today. Everybody's got that certain level that they try to get to, or that some people like to just do chords, It just depends on how bad you want it, really, is what it comes down to. My I guess my dream when I was younger was, because when I saw Live Without a Net, when it came out on VHS, the Van Halen concert Live Without a Net, and I would watch Eddie's solo, that was what I wanted. I said, I just want to be able to do a piece of that, just a piece of it. I don't want to be that guy that plays everything note for note. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Please don't take that wrong. I'm not saying nothing wrong, because there's nothing wrong with that. But even Eddie said himself, man, in interviews, I've seen it time and time again. He said, no matter how hard I tried to cover a song to make it sound like the original, I couldn't. It sounded like me. And when I heard him say that, I was like, so it's okay that I can't play everything note for note like him. I still put my own little twist in it to make it partly mine. When I heard him say that, I was like, oh, there you go. So that's what I wanted when I first started. I would watch that video, and it was just, I mean, he would do that, see, that's not note for note, but when I do that, it kind of it's reminiscent of what he does, and of course, it's easy to tell he's my main influence. Wolfgang Special, EVA. I mean, that's just that's when I saw that, I was like, oh God, I want to be able to do some of that, just a little bit of it. I thought it was the coolest thing I ever heard in my life. So that's what I've always been trying for years, just to try to get to somewhere to that level, which I know it's not perfect, but it's in the ballpark. And for me, being in the ballpark is good enough. Being in the ballpark is good enough, because it's just, everybody can advance. Some people advance quicker than others. Some people take a little longer, and some people just can't advance at all. And it's not nothing rude. It's just how it is. It's just every human being is different on their learning levels. I mean, there's certain things people do, like a bass player, how they sit there and they do this. They sit there and they play. I don't see how they do that. I'm like, man, I got to use a pick. But that's just how I've trained myself over time, right? So everybody's different, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Jimmy T and the Marvelous Three, I don't know why I say it just rhymes. So I hope, if that upsets you, I won't say it no more, Jimmy. I just think it sounds cool. There was a band called Marvelous Three. Do y'all remember that? I had their out, man, God almighty, when was that? That was in the late 90s, mid to late 90s. There was a band called Marvelous Three, and I had that album, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a far cry from the music I like. There was no guitar solos and stuff. If there was, they were really simple, but the songwriting was incredible. Marvelous Three. They had one big hit that was on the radio. I can't remember what it is right now. It was a great album. I enjoyed it a lot. Jimmy T says, Joe, if you want to get a bit more technical with sweep picking, you definitely could. Oh my God. I wish I could, my friend. I've tried that. Oh my goodness. I guess I just can't wrap my head around the technique. My son can do it all day long. And that's the cool thing. I got a 28-year-old son. He just turned 28 a couple of weeks ago, and he can do that stuff all day long like it's nothing. So I've asked him, and he's taught me quite a few licks, and that doesn't bother me. I'm like, hey son, show me that. Show your old man a couple of them guitar licks, and he'll show me, because he's the guy that sits on the end of the bed. This was years ago, and looking at a tab book and going through each little thing and getting it down over and over and over. And I watched him through the years. I said, man, he's sitting down studying that stuff. And so that's something I never did. I've had tab books and all that, but again, I'm very impatient. And I'm like, oh God, what is this? 12, 14, 15, bend up, make sure it's in pitch. And to me, it's like, that's so boring. I'm like, can I watch somebody play that? So when he would learn something, I would say, I know he done did all the hard work, but it's paid off because he can play his ass off, and I said, man, show me that. And he would show me some of the licks I could do and some of them I couldn't, but he can do that sweep picking stuff, man, all day long. He's amazing. He's very amazing. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Did you really, Jimmy? You Googled Marvelous 3? Really? Oh. No, it's okay, man. The emojis don't bother me. I don't care, man. I don't care. But he says hi. So you know what I'm talking about. You can relate. Guitar players can relate, right? So, but this is one thing. I don't know if I can play it. I haven't done it in a while. But this is one thing my son showed me. I won't ever forget this. And I always loved this riff. People are like, what's the difference between a riff and a lick? A riff is like part of a song with the chords. A riff is part of a little mini solo, just if people don't know the difference. But here's this riff. Let's see if you can pick it up. If I can play it right, let's see if you can pick it out. I don't know if you can get that or not. Let me try it again. Shit, let's see. I haven't tried that in a long time. Boy, that sucks. Kansas, yeah. Was it Carry On My Wayward Son, I think? Yeah, he showed me that. He was in his room one time doing that. He was doing that, and I said, whoa, man. I said, show me that, I said, show me that, man. I've always loved that riff. I need to practice it. That's horrible, but you get the idea. And he was nailing it, man. And I've actually covered that song on this channel quite some time back. But yeah, Kansas, and that's an awesome song. And he was playing that, and I was like, "Holy smokes, man!" I was like, "Show me that," and he showed it to me, and it was awesome. Zeppelin. Yes. Or is that the group yet? No, I don't know any. Yes, Zeppelin is always fun to play. But you better be careful on YouTube, especially, man. You better be careful because it will get blocked. It will get blocked fast. I've did a few videos on Zeppelin, and they have got blocked. Yeah. One of my favorite Zeppelin songs, though, has to be. I love that. I love that song, man. Mitch Heyman, I'm working on Still Got the Blues. Gary Moore, right? Yeah, that's that. Man, he was amazing. And it's all about, Dave Byron did a video about this the other day and about bending. And bending took me a long time to grasp when you're bending properly, right? I mean, it's one thing to bend, bend and pitch. Once you master that, then you have to put some vibrato with it, right? And the good way to learn too is unison bends, right? That gives it more of a, what's my favorite Prince song to play? For me, Purple Rain is my favorite Prince song. I've covered that a couple of times on this channel, man. I love that song. I downloaded the backing track off karaokeversion.com. If you're not familiar with that, go to karaoke. It's karaoke / or hyphen version.com is how it's typed out. Go there and look at backing tracks, and you can look at artists from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, all those different decades. And I purchased the Purple Rain backing track. You can get the single version or the album version. I've got both. So, but what you can do with these backing tracks, you can move the pitch up, or you can keep it in the original pitch or an original key, I should say, or you can lower it a half step or whatever. Like, so when you want to do a Van Halen song, their stuff was always half a step down, right? So when I get the track, I just bump it up a half a step, and it's in standard. And it's really, you really can't tell that much of a difference. It's not, you really can't tell. The only time that you could tell a difference when I did Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue, and because they're always a whole step down. Well, I raised it up a whole step up, and it sounded like the guy was on helium singing. Friday night, and I need a fight. Mom, when is it gonna switch my night? And it was just, I was like, whoa, that don't work. And so I had to get a guitar and put it down a whole step and kept it in the original key, and it was fine. But that's my favorite Prince song is Purple Rain. Computer Blue, I've covered that too. I've tried to on this channel. That song is tricky for me, man. That is a tricky ass song, but it just shows you the brilliance of Prince, man. God almighty. That's one artist I never got to see live. He was always on top of his game. Every time he was on top of his game, man. He didn't F around, man. He was fabulous. I hate that he's gone. I still can't get over that. Let's see. Mitch Heyman says, I can bend, I just can't play fast. Join the club, my friend. I can't neither. I mean, as far as like picking and going all over, you know what I mean? I can't do that, man. Thank God for legato technique. Thank God. That's why I suck on acoustic. I try to do this on acoustic. It sounds horrible. I've always told myself a good guitar player can play the same on acoustic as he can on electric. You can do the same thing. That's a good guitar player right there, buddy, in my opinion. You put an acoustic on me, I'm like, oh, okay, what you want? Old stuff? Yeah. That's about it, right? No, man, play that stuff you did on electric, man. Come on. Okay, sure. Waitress, can I have a drink, please? Because it's going to be a long night. Hendrix sound. Oh, the unison bends. Yeah. Hendrix did that a lot, man. A lot. Yeah. He did that a lot. Hendrix, another one of my favorites. I can't see the poster right there. Barely. Hendrix, amazing guitar player. Yeah, Jimmy T in the Marvelous 3 says it is a tricky song, Computer Blue. You saw Prince live once? Wow. Man, at least you got to see him. I never got to see him. I had a chance, if my memory serves me correct, I had one chance to go see him when I was living in Charlotte. My dad said, "You can go, but I have to go with you." And I was like, "No, that's all right." Which it wasn't nothing against my dad. I said, "Well, can I just go by myself?" He's like, "No, I have to go with you." It was some kind of deal he had worked out with somebody, but so I didn't go. I was like, "Nah, that's all right. Never mind." So I didn't go. And I don't know what tour that would have been. Probably, I imagine that probably would have been the Paisley Park tour. I would imagine. I would think. I think that was Prince's last album with the Revolution, Paisley Park, I believe. That's a great album, man. I mean, when you're trying to come off a major hit album like Purple Rain, how do you follow that up? But he went through a transition period. Prince did, where I didn't like that new music. I just didn't like it. The new power generation and all this stuff. I didn't like that stuff. I was like, what is he doing? He'd like completely changed. Because Purple Rain for me had all those great songs, man. Had the great guitar riffs, and I was like, oh hell yeah, this is like another Hendrix. Of course, Hendrix was a huge influence on Prince, as we know. Spanky, how are you, man? But then when he started later through the years, when his music changed, more of a rap kind of thing, and I was like, I just can't get into that. But man, Purple Rain was awesome, especially with Apollonia Quintero. Yeah, which he gave her that name, which you may or may not know. A little FYI. Prince always done that with certain females in his life, like Vanity. And of course, she's passed away now. She was supposed to have that role in Purple Rain. She was supposed to have that, and it fell through. And Apollonia got it, which Apollonia is she's still around. I follow her on Twitter. She doesn't tweet a whole lot, but her little icon or her profile picture is one of hers when she was in Purple Rain. She was fine. God almighty. Apollonia was very attractive. Very attractive. Let's see. Spanky has joined. Hey, Spanky, how are you? Mark Taylor, Prince's performance at the George Harrison tribute was unreal. Was it not? That is, my son sent me that link the other day. He said, how have I not seen this by now? I was like, you ain't seen that? That thing's got like millions and millions of views, and you haven't seen that? He said, man, I didn't know that video was even out. And I was like, man, what gets me is when he takes that telly, and he throws it up in the air, and you don't see it land. I was like, who the hell caught that thing? And he's all cool, man. Prince was always like that, always so cool. And he got done, and he just like did like this, walked off the stage real cool and stuff. And everybody on the stage was Tom Petty and all them was just looking at him like, that's a bad mother. They were just in awe. You couldn't help but be in awe of him. He was that good in everything he did. Have y'all seen the Dave Chappelle little clip on YouTube where he actually, not Dave Chappelle, but Eddie Murphy's brother went and was at a party and saw Prince and went and played basketball with Prince and his guys. They had a like 5-on-5, and they said Prince was so damn good at basketball. He schooled all them guys. I was like, wow, Charlie Murphy. I think he passed away recently. Eddie Murphy's brother, Charlie. It was some amazing stories with that, man. That was amazing. Dave Chappelle. What a phenomenal comedian. My God, I love Dave Chappelle, man. He is funny as hell. Jimmy T, yes, I agree completely, Joe. Yeah, man. Spanky says he's doing great. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad. Mark Taylor, yeah, I was trying to figure out where that telly went to. I know, man. It's like he had to have something planned with somebody. I'm sure they had rehearsals, right? I mean, and the way he done that, I was just like, because you're sitting there going, yeah, this is awesome. Prince is on top of his game as always. And at the end, I was like, that's that telly that he's always had that he used in Purple Rain, and that's not a Fender telly either. It's a what's the name of that telly? Because he changed the pick guard on it to that like leopard print type design. What is it? A Honer? Honer? Is that the name of that? I want to say that's the name of that telly of his that he's used since God, since its early albums before Purple Rain, I want to say. Uh, Jimmy T, Joe, check out YouTube Prince Live for Love. The live version has a great guitar. The LP version was rap and unspecial. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember when I had this DVD of Prince where are y'all familiar with this? It was oh God, I can't remember the name of it, but it was right before Y2K, and Prince did a concert at Paisley Park in his concert hall, and people were there. Lenny Kravitz got on stage with him and jammed and all this stuff, and he called out somebody. He thought, what's that? What is that guitar player's name? That young fella, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Was it him? Who was the other guy that's just like Kenny Wayne Shepherd? Who I can't remember. My son loves this guy too. But Prince called him out and said, "I understand you're in the audience. Come on up here and jam with us." I was like, "Uh-oh." Apparently the guy wasn't there, but I guess somebody told Prince that he was there, but he wasn't. But that would have been cool, Yes, Spanky, thank you. Yes. Rave unto the year 2000. That was it. Yeah, I had that DVD. I was in my first marriage still, and I watched that a lot. And that is an amazing concert, man. It is fantastic. If you've never, I don't know if you can even get that now. I've tried looking some of that stuff up to get like a digital copy, and I can't find it. I mean, it's not on where I go to get my stuff. So it's going to be hard to get some of his stuff now, I would think, since he's passed, because I don't know who's in charge of all that. Horner, yeah, Jimmy T. Horner, yeah. That was the telly, yeah. Mitch Heyman, Joe, does the Roland Cube come with the adapter? Yes, sir. Mine did. Yes, sir. It did. Yes, it sure did. Okay, yes. Now, Spanky says, just yesterday I bought the Kindle version of The Story of Purple Rain from Amazon. Yeah, that I've got if I'm thinking about, because there's a few books out about Prince, right? And I want to say that I have that book, but I have the audio version. And it just talks about, all that book talks about is the movie Purple Rain and how it got started and how Prince was chosen for it and how he got his band rehearsed for the movie. And, from what I understand, him and Morris Day have known each other for years. So they were always competing against each other back in the day. Like, what was that? Is that First Avenue, the name of the club? And that was a real club. That was the real thing, man. One of the vloggers I like to watch, Adam the Woo, he was there in, is it Minnesota? And he was out front of First Avenue vlogging. And man, you already seen all the people with Prince stuff out there. And I was like, there it is. There's First Avenue, man. It looks the same as it, on the outside, it looks the same as it did in the movie. And so that book, I have the audio version of that book, and it is very, very interesting. You'll like it, Mr. McAllister. I'm not one of those that can sit and read a book. I got to listen to the audio version because I drive all the time. But that is a fantastic book, man. You will not be dissatisfied. Great book. And it just shows you, man, the brilliance of Prince. Even then, he's just fantastic, man. And they were saying, I remember in that book too, also Spanky, they were saying that the stage, because they actually shot inside First Avenue. They actually shot in there. For the parts of the movie, but they said they had to be very careful because the space inside that place was really small. They didn't have a lot of room to work with. It's very cool though. Very cool. Man, how long have we been on? My God. Man, an hour and 20 minutes. I got to go. It's after 3:00. I've run my mouth long enough. Okay. Thank you to everybody who's been here. And thank you for letting me know that the audio is working. I appreciate that very much. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. Brincy Rocks, you caught us at the last second. That's for Brent. That's his theme song. All right. Thank you guys for being here. And cheers to you, Jimmy T. Brincy Rocks, thank you. Bo Zeke, thank you. Spanky, thank you. Mitch Heyman, Mark Taylor, Sonia, Adam EVH. Who else? Johnny Bean, johnnybean.tv. Check him out. Golly, who else was here? I couldn't take. Nah, Brent, you don't need to apologize, man. It's no big deal, man. It's no big deal. No big deal, man. Sometimes these notifications go out. Sometimes they don't. You know how it is, right? Everybody who was here, thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless y'all. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next video, and I'm going to tell you the next video is going to be pretty special. The next video will be video number 1,000 on this channel. 1,000. Now, for a regular professional YouTuber, that's nothing. But for somebody like me that's a blue-collar working truck driver, and I'm getting ready to hit 1,000 videos, to me, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I don't know yet if it's going to be a live video or if it's going to be a pre-recorded video. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all want. We can celebrate together, or y'all can just watch the pre-recorded and comment later. Y'all let me know. Comment below in this video and let me know what you think. And so I'll go back and check the comments. And yeah, the next video will be 1,000. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's saying go do it live. Okay, I'll do it live. I just hopefully the setup will work. Hopefully it'll work. What was that? Was that Bo Zeke that said sound like your amp took a vacation? And I was sitting there ripping, man. I was feeling good, and I said, "Oh man, nobody heard none of that because I didn't have something plugged in right," which is figures my luck. Okay, we'll try to do the live video for the 1,000th video for this channel, man. And so it'll probably be. I'll probably save it for this weekend so we can have some time, so it won't be rushed. Okay. Thank y'all very much again. God bless y'all. We'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. For the Joe Wentz Project TV, this is Joe. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.